they have a whole different way that they have to survive, the way they have to go through day-to-day life than we do. They a lot of times don't have people looking out for them 24/7. They don't have teachers and parents who follow them around and make sure every detail of their life is perfect for them. They have to kind of figure out how to make it on their own and do best, and they're still so appreciative for everything they already have.
It just blew my mind to know that so many kids in Uruguay were dropping out of school and being put in this position where all they knew how to do was fight each other, and the violence was increasing, and it just shocked all of us.
We spent most of our time at the Mandalavos Center, and we saw the bonds that were built there. And one thing that I really tried to take note of was the connection that the adults have with the kids, and that was very touching to me.
I think Key Club should support this project because it's obviously helping in these children's lives. It's going to help their education later on. It's going to help them laboring. If Key Club can fund the children here and improve their lifestyle, it'll make a big impact in South America, I think.
So Mandalavos is a social educational center that deals with teens between 12 and 20 years old, and it offers different programs or workshops.
I participate mostly in the arts workshop now, I guess, and at first, in my experience, when I work with youth and I work on projects like that, like something artistic, for example, I think about how it's fun and just that aspect of it. And so here I've really learned that it's also really therapeutic and that it really just does a lot for them. And so the educators, I guess, have been really helpful with that because they tell me, it's really an escape for a lot of them from their daily routine and any problems they encounter outside of it. It was just a revelation for me because you can really hear about art therapy all the time and things like that, but to see it in action is just a whole different story, and they just do really well with it. And they're also really talented, which is great. I don't think they would have other outlets if it wasn't for Mandalavos.
Más allá de los contenidos, tenemos como 8 objetivos.
So we have 8 different guidelines or lines of work touching different aspects.
Pero antes de explicar como esas 8 líneas.
And the main basis of these 8 guidelines are integration and participation.
Comunicación.
Communication.
Tener la filmadora en mis manos.
Having the camera on my own hands.
Decir acción, me encanta.
And say action. I love it.
Plástica.
I love arts.
Cuando trabajamos con barro y eso, manualidades así.
When we do things with our hands, like clay and those kind of things.
We got to interact with all the local kids at the Mandalavos Center. We got to spend some time with them. We stayed overnight. We got to see the kind of food they eat. We got to see the kind of way they spend their time. We got to see their schools. A lot about everyday life, how it would be here in Uruguay.
I think one of the kids said that they thought we were going to be boring at first because we just kind of stood around. But once we got outside and got to interact, we immediately became friends.
They treated us just like we were one of their own. The language factor didn't even matter. We learned to play charades really well.
I was never in a room where someone was not laughing. There was always someone laughing, there was always someone smiling, and they were always just happy to be together, and it didn't seem like they were worried about too many other things when they were at that center.
Mandalavos offers a lot of classes on different areas. Teens would be interested in percussion, arts, just all kinds of things to make them enjoy their time there. And it uses those to bring them in and then tries to integrate them back into the education system, gives them a place to call home, lets them retain a normal life.
It has helped me to listen to others and to know that my opinion is not the only valid one, but others as well. And it is much better to work in groups than working on my own or alone. I would strongly recommend teenagers to come here because they help you and they care for you and they help you get out from certain places that are not good for you.
The communication one is awesome. They work with Martin, who is always filming them, and they do all of the work because they come up with these great scripts that are just really original, and I love hearing about it. I love watching little clips when I get a chance. I mean, they just won this contest, and I was here for some of the filming of that, and it's just really interesting. And then the stuff that I really miss out on is when they go on these camping trips that I hear about all the time, and I never really get to go, but they usually send a few Mandalavos, and they get to go and meet other youth from around Uruguay and sometimes even just Latin America, and just get to interact and I guess pick up new ideas to bring back and tell their friends here about, you know, everything they've seen out there, which most of them don't get to do otherwise. So.
Obviously it's helping now. These children, I think some of them are going back to school, they're working back on their education, which is one of the main focuses.
They focus more on raising you as a person, making you a better person than just the education, just the family, just the home. It's more about making these kids' lives better forever, not just today.
They're showing them like the bonds that are needed in families. And all of that comes with teamwork, all of that comes with working together, and they get the attitude of what a lifestyle should be like, in the sense that we should care for each other, we should help each other best we can. And that's not something they have at home.
These teenagers over here are just like us. They're just looking for their place in the world. They're looking for a place they can call their own. They're looking for happiness.
When we were leaving Mandalavos and saying our goodbyes, there were so many people in tears, and it was a reality to me that even just that short time of us interacting with them, it meant so much. And when we passed out all the cards that key clubbers from around the nation made, you could see that a connection was made, that someone out there does care for me.
They may not have everything, but they still like to have fun. They're still kids. They still work with what they have.
They need these funds because they need that interaction with different life occurrences and working with their hands, working together. They need the opportunity to continue what they're doing.
Supporting this center and building new ones, they make a difference on their lives, not just today, but they will change who these people are and give them a better future than they would have had otherwise, and we could be a part of that. It's an amazing opportunity for us. We don't often get the chance to help kids our age in such an important way. We can really make the difference in their lives, and we need to take the opportunity because we can do it.